Have you ever been scrolling through your feed and noticed those friends who are always, well, there? They're watching your stories, they're liking your posts, but they never, ever seem to post anything themselves? It's like this huge invisible crowd wandering through a museum. We're going to call it the silent gallery. So let's get into why this is a thing.
It's a really fascinating question, right? I mean, we live in this age where it feels like sharing is the default setting for almost everyone. So what makes someone decide to stay completely out of the picture? It's not that they're absent, they're just, participating in a completely different way.
So yeah, let's explore this world of the quiet observers. Now, we're not talking about people who just deleted their accounts and left. No, this is about the people who are actively scrolling, probably liking your stuff, maybe sending messages, but they've made a really conscious choice to just consume content instead of creating it. They're the audience, the silent majority, if you will.
And get this is not some small niche group of people we're talking about. Some studies suggest that a whopping 40% of social media users are in this category. 40%! That's almost half the people on these platforms choosing to keep their own photos to themselves. This is a massive social phenomenon.
The internet has a term for this, right? We call them lurkers. But that word, it has kind of negative vibes, doesn't it? It sounds like someone is hiding in the shadows or something. The reality, though, is way more complex and honestly a lot more intentional than that. So what are the real reasons people make this choice?
Okay, so one of the biggest reasons, it boils down to building what you could call a privacy fortress. Think about it. We live in a world where our lives can feel like these digital windows that anyone can just peer into. Some people are simply choosing to pull the curtains shut.
And here's the fundamental issue. You might think, hey, I'm just sharing a fun photo from my trip. But what's actually happening is a trade-off. You're giving away little bits of data, where you are, who you're with, what you like to do, and all of that gets packaged up to build this incredibly detailed profile of you for advertisers.
And it goes so much deeper than you'd think. Every single digital photo can have hidden data inside it. Stuff like your camera model, the exact time, even the GPS coordinates. Your face can be scanned and added to giant facial recognition databases. Geotags track your every move. Every person you tag maps out your social circle. For a lot of people, choosing not to post is a very deliberate way of opting out of this huge invisible data grab. But okay, it's not all about data and big tech privacy concerns. Let's switch gears a bit and talk about something way more personal, more psychological. For a lot of people, sharing online has just stopped feeling like, well, sharing, and it started to feel like a really high-pressure performance.
This quote from an anonymous user just nails it, doesn't it? There's this unspoken rule that you have to present this polished, perfect, constantly amazing version of your life. It's not a casual update anymore, it's a curated act. And honestly, for some people, the sheer exhaustion of keeping that performance going just isn't worth the effort.
And this feeling, it has real-world effects. A whole lot of research is consistently showing a link between high levels of social media engagement. We're talking constant posting, curating, perfecting, and higher reported levels of anxiety and stress. On the flip side, those with lower engagement often report feeling better. So by not posting, people are actually taking a proactive step to manage their own mental health.
So what exactly are they escaping from? Well, it's this really vicious cycle. You're scrolling, you're seeing everyone else's curated perfection. Just their highlight reels, right? And you can't help but compare your real, messy, behind-the-scenes life to their shiny public one. That can create this fear of judgment about your own stuff, or even worse, this endless chase for validation through likes and comments. Not posting is a way to just get off that treadmill entirely.
And that brings us to our final, and maybe the most profound reason of all. For many, it's not just about rejecting the digital world, it's about actively choosing to embrace the real one more fully. It's about finding a whole different kind of authenticity.
Just think about it for a second. How often do we see something beautiful, like a sunset, or we're having a great time with friends, and the very first instinct is to pull out a phone? Well, for the people in the silent gallery, the goal isn't really to capture the moment.
It's simply to live it, to actually be present, to absorb the experience with your own eyes and ears, not through a 6-inch screen. It's a choice to make the feeling of the experience more important than the documentation of it. This whole mindset is actually part of a growing philosophy called digital minimalism, and it's not about being anti-technology at all. It's just about taking back control. It's about asking yourself a simple question. Does this thing I'm doing online actually support the kind of life I want to live? And if the answer is no, you just let it go. So, at the end of the day, maybe we need to completely reframe how we think about these quiet observers.
The silent gallery isn't some empty, lonely place. It's full of people making really deliberate choices about their privacy, their mental health, and their presence in the world. It's just a private collection, not a public exhibition.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As you're scrolling and as you're thinking about your next post, it's worth asking yourself, who is this really for? Is your gallery for an audience, or is it truly just for you?